Welcome to the Cherry Picker After Dark, the Patreon exclusive version of the Cherry Picker, the horror movie podcast where we like to kill people, but not really. I'm your host, Zach Cherry. With me as always is...
whatever you do, don't fall asleep. Eddie, if Edward's true.
Eddie.
I didn't have one ready.
No, and this is a very exciting episode because we are doing Survivor again. We previously did 3 seasons of Scream Survivor, but now we're doing Final Girls. Final Girls Survivor. Woo-hoo! And what's interesting about this is that, first of all, these are characters who have never crossed paths, unlike the Scream movies, where we already had, history between the people. So this time, things are a little bit more unpredictable. We don't know where things are necessarily going to land.
Also, the dynamics between characters and stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Also, just for the sake of Cherry Picker continuity, we are only currently, and there will be more seasons of this, but we're only having Final Girls who have been in movies that we've covered already on the podcast. Right. So of the previous 99 episodes of the Cherry Picker, everyone that is playing this season are going to be Final Girls that were in movies that we covered. Because they're we've talked about them. There's continuity. They're more in our memory. With that said, this is a Patreon exclusive. So if you are watching this on YouTube or listening to it not on Patreon, just know that this is going to be, I don't know right now how long the preview is going to be. Probably the first 2 boots. That's what we've done in the past. So if you would like to watch or listen to the full experience, you could head over to my Patreon, Zach Cherry, ZACKCHERRY, and subscribe at the Freddy Krueger tier. You will unlock all of our bonus episodes, so the Cherry Picker After Dark, which come out every month. That will give you access to the Scream Survivor episodes, those 3 seasons, as well as a plethora of other things. So,
plethora. I like that.
A plethora. So without any further ado, let's meet the contestants of this season, because we have to divvy them up into tribes. And unlike the previous Scream Survivors, where we started with 2 tribes, this time we're actually doing 3 tribes. So it's going to be 3 tribes until the swap and then merge. So very unpredictable. Yeah, we're worried for things. Okay, so our Final Girl selection for this season, starting from the I guess the oldest in terms of just like the media, the movie that was released, we have Lila Crane from Psycho and Psycho 2. And Eddie, we also, like we did for the last season of Scream Survivor, we gave them a score based on their social, physical, and strategic abilities. So do you want to read to us what those are?
For Lila Crane, at social, we have her at a 7. For physical, we have her at a 6. And for strategic, we have her at number 8.
Number 8.
Like a pageant.
Yeah. I think that Lila, and this is, we're going to go through them and talk about their kind of preseason chances, how we think that they'll do, if you're cool with that. Lila, I think that she has some major villain potential. Just based on,
that's true.
I mean, not just like based on Psycho 2, but also like in the first Psycho, like I feel like there's a sneakiness to her. Like she's a very manipulative person that I can, of the entire cast of who we have here, I can see her potentially being like getting the villain edit, as it were.
Okay. I agree. I concur. Fun.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like she would be doing things like rifling through other players' bags to look to see if they have idols and things like that. Like she's crafty like that.
Ooh, underhanded.
Yeah. You and I talked about this briefly last night, but just because I love astrology so much, and we've talked about astrology here. I've actually assigned a zodiac sign to each one of these.
God.
I know,
Of course you
I
have.
I know, but it's only right. And we this was talked about in the Psycho 2 episode, and I said that Lila was a Taurus, and I'm gonna stick to that. She's got some major Taurus vibes. So
Taurus.
if you stan your signs, Lila might be your person. you're like whatever. It would be so much more fun if you were more involved in it, but I get it. It's a very like me thing.
I'd have to develop my appetite for the zodiac, but
well,
we don't have enough time.
Yeah. Okay, who's next?
Next on the syllabus, we have Jess Bradford from Black Christmas, whose social rating is a 9, her physical is 8, and her strategic is a mere 6.
Yeah, she's not overly strategic, but
she runs upstairs where she knows the killer is. She's armed,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I think that Jess is probably going to be very loyal to her tribe mates or her alliance. Like, she's just that kind of person. I think that she's going to be very like unrelenting in her game decisions. Like actually, I think that she's also a Taurus. And they're just, they dig their heels in, and they, it's like, I'm not having this baby. But it'll be interesting to see where she lands, because we said that she's not very strategic. I think that she, if she's put under pressure, that's where she's gonna fuck up. Mm-hmm. She's not gonna make great decisions there, and right. Might blow up her game because of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's next?
And up next we have Suzy Bannion of Suspiria, whose social skills are a 7, her physical abilities are a 7, and her strategic skill is a 7.
What is that, like C's all across the board, or?
Yeah, she's a C student, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, she can be just as dialed in as she can be kind of like dazed and looking up and talking in her low kind of,
It's funny that you do her voice, because Suzy would be like the worst confessionalist. Like how they just have them sitting there and just doing their confessionals. Like, hers would be so boring. Right. I love Suzy. I think Suzy's a great character. But yeah. But she's the kind of character that she, like, because what's interesting about like the real survivors, like in the confessionals, you kind of get a narrative and get to know what the characters are thinking and what their moves are. And she's just like, she's very internalized, that I don't think that, like, even if she was to win, I don't know that if it was televised that we'd ever like how did she even play her game? But some pros for her. I think that she will be really good with memory challenges, because she's, Suspiria. It's all about like the memory of the iris, the blue one. I think that she'll probably be a very quiet player. But there'll be certain like she might go far that way, or just kind of like blend in, because she's not gonna ruffle feathers in that way. But I think she
could, like, if she gets like scuttled, she could like accidentally like kickstart her powers or something and accidentally blow a door off of something.
Does she canonically have powers? But I was gonna say that, like, I think that if she was gonna rub people the wrong way, it's because she kind of like, she does ask questions, like she kind of does speak out of turn in just like scenarios with you just be like, I don't like that. Like, I'm not gonna, she doesn't agree with something, she'll have an opinion about it. I also think that she might be too trusting. Like, she just had no idea that those bitches were trying to kill her. So that could be, that's probably why she has a lower strategic score. But
just eat the soup, Suzy.
Yeah. Aquarius.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Who's next?
Up next, we have Miss Laurie Strode of Halloween, the 2018 timeline.
We have to
Her
specify that it is not
Yes.
it is not the H2O version, because there's two different versions of Laurie, and this is the crazy David Gordon Green.
And this isn't the Rob Zombie Laurie either, so
No.
One
Well, we haven't covered that movie yet, so she wouldn't be there.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
In case anybody was wondering. And up until now, it's all been the OGs. We're going in chronological order of the releases. This is the first time we're first Halloween and then 2018 timeline. So,
Yeah.
Laurie Strode's social skills rank at a 4. Her physical agility, though, ranks at a 10. And her strategic ability is an 8. Things could go either way.
I love that she has such a low social score, because like I see her as being like, if anyone who's watching this is like a fan of Survivor, like she is like one of those characters like Coach or Debbie, who is just like lacks total self-awareness, but it's just kind of there, and just like the tribe is like, okay, they're a leader, you know, they might be good in challenges, they might have good strategy, but holy fuck, I cannot wait to vote this bitch out, because she is just obsessive and pedantic, and she's just gonna rub everyone the wrong way.
Eventually, like when the shit hits the fan, she could get a little too intense for some people, for sure.
Yeah. Like she's gonna be she's gonna want to take control early on as well, and she's gonna stand in her own way. She is. I mean, and unlike Suzy, who I think would be like a boring confessionalist, Laurie's confessionals would be so good. They'd be so entertaining. If they existed. If we were able to AI that into the
She'd
podcast.
start interviewing the interviewer. Like she'd be sitting there going like, "You don't believe in the boogeyman? Oh, you should."
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Crazy eyes.
It pains me to say this, but I don't. Laurie 2018 is not a real person, so it's how do you? She isn't. She's not, and she's so inconsistent from the first Halloween. But I mean, I
40
think
years have gone by.
still we've talked about this ad nauseum.
We talked about it. Watch the episode, folks.
I'm assigning her Scorpio because just of the obsessive emotional connection that she has to this event and Michael Myers that was like 40 years ago. Like that is Scorpio, and again, this is a fake person. This is not a real Scorpio, but
and you say this as a Scorpio, so
yes,
you know.
yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
You have the right. You have the right.
Thank you. Who's next?
We have Ginny Field from Friday the 13th, Part 2, whose social skills rank as a 10. Physical agility is also an 8. And her strategy is a 10. So, aces.
She's pretty
Aces
well
and 1B.
pretty well rounded. I think that she's so charismatic that I think that she's, going to be well liked by everyone. One area where I would be kind of nervous for her is I feel like she's very boastful of her talents. You know how we see it like the beginning when she's just like, Paul, you're such a sucker, and like the way that she like beats him at chess and all that. So like she's good at all that shit. She's very strategic. She knows how to like trick Jason at the end, but she brags about it. So that might make people realize like, oh, she's dangerous.
Right. Also, if there are any accesses to alcohol at any point during the course of the season, we know that after a few beers in her, she starts musing about child psychology and everything like that, and it's not everybody's bag. So that, but that's a condition. That's a high condition. I don't know.
Well, I think the fact that she does study psychology is also kind of a benefit to her, because she might be able to read the other players. But I might say, just speaking of the scene of them in the bar, she might have trouble like corralling her alliance, as we see like she's trying to tell them about that story, and they're just like, whatever. So I don't see her as being like the kind of person that's going to be making calls, or she might be the one that's saying like, we have to get rid of this person, and people are going to be like, No, you're wrong.
It depends on who she's talking to, though. Like again, these are all final girls. They're not all great, but
Yeah.
some of them. If she has the right crowd, she might be able to rally them really easily.
Sagittarius. I'm gonna go with.
Yeah. Okay, you can trust them until you can't.
They only know how to tell the truth. They only know how to tell the truth.
That's true. Except to themselves. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Up next, we have Donna Trenton of Cujo, whose social skills are a 7. Her physical agility is a 10. And her strategic skills are a 7.
I love that we had to get Dee Wallace in here, obviously.
Absolutely.
I think that she seems like the kind of character that she would be sneaky. I don't know if like at a Lila Crane level, but the thing is, she would not get caught. Like she would get caught, whereas Lila, I feel like she would get away with it. Donna would get caught because she's she can't even keep her affair under wraps. So because of that, I think that she would be pretty terrible at like hiding. Like the lies and her emotions as well. Like all of those things will like be on full display. Everyone would know about it. So I can see her as being the kind of character that might be on the outs, but that actually might behoove her because I can see her as being like the type of person who thrives when she's in like full control of her own game. So I mean, if she makes it to the merge, who knows? We'll see. She could go pretty far. I'm gonna say Aries. She's quick to temper, and she's not great at diffusing situations. But
fire.
Yeah. But it's Dee Wallace. Nice.
Yeah.
Or Donna Trenton.
Okay. Yeah. It's a little crowbar of separation there. Up next, we have Miss Nancy Thompson of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Her social skills are a 10. Her physical agility is a 9. And her strategic skills are a 9.
Your favorite.
Yeah, right?
I think that Nancy could be interesting because she's a very empathetic person. And is very sensitive to others. So I could see a situation where she might like flip on her alliance. Like if she's like with an alliance of just like people, she's like, I don't like the way that you're playing this. I could see her as possibly being someone who, we've seen this in the past on Survivor, like people who kind of corral like all of the bottom of the totem pole people and make like a super alliance out of them, just being like, oh, here's all the underdogs. I'm just going to like assemble them together. And now we're in the lead, So that's something I could see her doing. At the same time, I feel that it's going to be very hard for her to vote people out. Like she's going to be one of those people that are just like very emotional about that. It's going to be hard for her. So I don't know how.
TV, though.
It'll make great TV. I just don't know how like the jury would view that. I'm just sort of like, you can't even. It's just like every single time you do this, it's, it's almost, I don't think that they would think it's disingenuous, but they just, unfortunately, Survivor has had a history of just like emotional players don't really get the respect that they always deserve.
Right.
But at the same time, other things, I could see her being very resourceful. Like I could see her building a shelter. Yes. I mean, she built all those traps and shit. So, I mean, I'm going to go with that. And Nancy's a Pisces.
Oh,
yeah.
Pisces. All right. Up next, we have Miss Kirsty Cotton of Hellraiser, whose social skills are a 9. Her physical ability is ranked as an 8, and her strategy is a 9.
Yeah. She would be a great confessionalist too. Like she'd be really sassy. It would make for good TV.
Just those eyes.
Yeah.
Those big eyes.
Yeah. First of all, I think that she's obviously going to be the one person here to excel at puzzles more than anyone else. Just by virtue of the lament configuration. And I think that she'll be like very, like we already said, like she's got a high social score. I think that she's going to kind of be in everyone's ear. I think that she's gonna have everyone's number and know what's going on with a lot of people. And I think that she'll also be very duplicitous, but like also really good at that in a way that it's not going to be as noticeable. And I could see her also, organizing cross alliance voting blocks, which is just like we've seen that on Survivor as well, where people like the two alliances might put their differences aside to just get out some other asshole, just because of the way that she's able to kind of like bargain with the Cenobites and be like, hey, we have a mutual enemy, let's do this. So I can see her being a person to take that charge.
100%.
But I can also, she's got to be one of those people who's just like always on top of it, because I could see like one wrong move ending her game.
Okay. And what is she?
She's a Gemini.
Ooh. Like daddy's little girl 1 minute, and the next, a deadly killer.
Deadly killer.
All right.
Speaking of daddy's little girl.
Right. We have everyone's favorite, Tori Redding of Leprechaun. Jennifer Aniston's role, in case anybody doesn't remember.
Yeah.
No shade. Jennifer Aniston doesn't care.
No,
okay.
she doesn't.
Social skills are a 4. Physical strength is a 6. And strategy, a 3.
Yeah. She's a flop. She's gonna be completely out of her elements. Her judgmental attitude is going to be very off-putting for a lot of the other players. The only way that I could see her getting far in this game, ironically, is pure luck. The luck of the Irish.
If there's a yoga challenge or a bitching challenge.
No,
or,
I mean, more
like
so
that.
like if she's on a tribe that like consistently wins all of the immunity challenges and then gets to merge and then is sort of just like brought along to the end as a goat. I don't have a lot of faith in Tori Redding. But on the other end of things, she could, because I had to watch Leprechaun again to get refamiliarized, but she could eventually step up to the plate if everyone else is useless. Again, I just don't see that happening with the caliber of final girls that we have, who are also playing here. But that's all there is to that. And I feel really bad for
after all that.
This for this zodiac sign. And again, I'm going to preface this by saying that, like Laurie 2018, Tori is not a real person. This characterization, whatever they wrote, is not real. I was just kind of going with the closest in attributes, which even then contradict itself. But I'm going with Capricorn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, she's stubborn.
I feel like every sign is stubborn.
I know a lot of Capricorns. Yeah, that's true. Every sign is stubborn, but I have a lot of Capricorns in my life. I adore them. So Tori and I would probably get along famously. Except for when we didn't. Anyway, and that's true of everybody. I love the Zodiac, don't you? Yeah. Up next, we have Miss Terry Flores of Anaconda. J-Lo, everybody, J-Lo. Her social skills are a 7. Her physical ability is a 9. And her strategy, 2.
Half a flop. She's a player that's going to be characterized by inaction and indecision, especially like just in the way that we see. She doesn't do anything in Anaconda. It's just like it's John
She'll
Boyd.
stand there.
Yeah. She'll talk about it and just
Physical
be like,
challenges she'll probably do well though.
oh, absolutely. Well, because she's J-Lo. But yeah, I think that she's going to be very avoidant of confrontation until it's too late. And I think that she could easily be bulldozed by more assertive characters. But yeah, I think that she'll be good in physical shit. So,
Yeah.
Libra.
Ooh, playful.
Yeah.
That's all I ever remember about Libras is that they're playful.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Up next, we have Miss Julie James of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
And
her social
I still
skills
know.
are and I still know.
Yeah.
Her social skills are a 7. Her physical ability is 7. And her strategy is 3. This is fun.
Yeah, no, it is. No, absolutely. I think that Julie will play very emotionally. I think that she's gonna, kind of annoy people with her mood swings, and she's no. I think that she's going to be easily influenced by other people and could potentially flip flop alliances because of that, which could behoove someone else's game. I don't know how it's gonna bode for her own. She's not good at thinking through anything before she does it, just in terms of like any sort of game move that she's gonna make. I could see her trying to make a move and then just like having it backfire.
Trying to help and then
but I don't see her ever having control over her own game, and I think that she's easily gonna trust the wrong people.
She's a good shit talker, though. What are you waiting for?
Oh yeah, there might be some fights.
But she could also be easily manipulated that way. All she has to be, all she needs to be is convinced of that things are one way, and then she'll go confront the wrong person and end up making an enemy.
It was Freddie Prinze Jr. Like, no.
Yeah. And, oh no, it isn't. Freddie, watch out. Oops.
Yeah. I'm gonna say also a Pisces.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
Along with Nance.
Eternally of two minds.
Yeah.
Along with Nance. All right. In addition to her, we have Miss Natalie Simon of Urban Legend. Only the first one, as far as I know. Yeah. Her social skills are a 7. Her physical ability is a 7. Her strategy is a 5.
So a little bit better than Julie. I think
also easily fooled, right?
Easily. Well, she's kind of like a type A personality, so I could see that being something that annoys people or rubs them a wrong way. I could see her being a little, judgmental of shrewd gameplay. So I think that that might. I think she might have a hard time finding an alliance that works for her. I think that she'll probably play an honest game, though, and I think that I don't know if that'll do well for her, but I mean, if she got to the end and she's like, I did everything as I said I would, and yada yada yada, I think that maybe she'll get some respect for that. But I think that she's another one that probably won't have much agency over her game either.
No, the only thing I can see her maybe taking some power back is if she has to draw like a firm boundary. She has no qualms about that, like as she exhibited with Joshua Jackson's character in that car.
Yeah.
So what is she?
She's a Virgo.
Really?
Yeah.
You think that's funny?
Somebody's taking all these urban legends.
She's like Suzy Bannion, but turned up like quite a bit. Because Suzy's just kind of here talking like this, and if Suzy ever shouted, she'd be Alicia Witt.
Maybe they'll get along well.
Maybe, yeah. We'll see.
All right, who's next?
Let's hope they're on the same team.
Yeah.
Up next, we have Miss Jessie Burlingame of Wrong Turn, is played by Eliza Dushku. Mm-hmm. Her social skills are an 8. Her physical ability is a 9, but her strategy is a 6. Mm. It's not a wah-wah, though.
Yeah.
Still passing
it's pretty
grade.
average,
it's a D, but it's a passing grade.
Yeah. I can see her as being kind of like in a leader position. She's kind of like exudes that confidence that she would be able to carry along a team of other final women. And she'd probably be really good at hyping them up, as we see that she, with that whiny friend of hers, just like, we got to keep moving. Come on.
or talking them off the ledge, maybe, if she had to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly,
But,
I think... Talk them down.
Yeah, and I think because of that, she'll also be very loyal to her alliance members as well. And I think that she's going to make big moves. I think that she's the kind of person that, either she wants to make them or she can easily be talked into making big moves. But if this is the thing, like, if she doesn't have an alliance, she's probably not going to do well. Like, because they'll see her as like a threat and want to get rid of her. So she's got to, get people on her side, which I think she'll be able to do because she's social. And I'm going to say she's a Leo for all those reasons.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. I like Leos.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we have Miss Carly Jones of House of Wax, the Dark Castle remake of 2005, whose social skills are an 8. Her physical ability is an 8, and her strategy is a 6.
That's still pretty good. I think, like we said, 6 is an all right strategy. She's not going to be, making any big strategic decisions, but I think that she'll actually be.
It'll probably get her finger clipped off. Anyway, what were you saying? Sorry.
I think that she'll probably be a good mediator between alliances or even like her own alliance members, just because we see that in like her friend group. Like, she's kind of like the mother of just sort of like the mother hen, just making sure everyone's copacetic and getting along. I think that she can remain pretty cool, calm, and collected in like crazy situations as well, as we've seen. And I think that you mentioned the thing about getting her finger clipped off. She goes through a lot of rough shit in House of Wax, and she bounces back very quickly. Like, she gets up fast. So I think that she could be like a strong underdog performer. But I think that she's probably gonna miss details very easily. Even though, like, I think that she is a quick learner, but it's just gonna be one of those things that if she does make a move or anything like that, it might be too late by that point.
Yeah, I agree. What sign is she?
And actually, I'm gonna say she's also a Capricorn.
Oh, well, that's nice. After making Tori one.
I know, right? Like I said, Tori is a fake Capricorn.
She's a fake person. It's
like
just,
like Laurie 2018.
Traits. Yeah, it's a party, folks. Come on.
Yeah.
Up next, we have Miss Adelaide Wilson of Us. Now, if there's any confusion about this, because I had to think about it for a second, I'm like, so Adelaide, meaning the Adelaide, it's Final Girl Survivor. So the survivor, Adelaide, the one who was, spoilers for Us, the one who was red, but then crossed over and usurped the true.
Oh my God, you're making this way too Adelaide's.
So anyway, so the victor,
the one in the picture,
whose son is looking at her in the end of the movie, the one who's still standing, the one who doesn't die.
Yeah.
Adelaide Wilson of Us, whose social skills, after all that, her social skills are a 6. Her physical agility is a 10, and her strategy a 10.
Yeah. I will say to her social skills being a little bit lower, she at least has the self-awareness of that, because she even says to Elizabeth Moss, she's just like, I don't do well with people. I don't, so, that's that at least that self-awareness that gives her game awareness. I think that she's probably going to be the mother of the tribe. We do have like other mothers playing,
right,
but she's going to be the one that, you see in Survivor seasons where they just take care of everyone, and it's almost like at their own like they're putting their own game aside to just like have their alliance do well, but she just has that kind of like that nurturing disposition about her, and she will be a good person to align with because of that. So because of that,
tribalism is really strong too.
Yeah.
Like she's going to hold her own with her own, and
so
that kind of defines.
Yeah, so she might be playing more so for her alliance than herself, but I could see her being like one of those like mafia boss type of survivor players, like very intimidating. Like people would be like, "Oh, we have to run it by Adelaide," and they're like, "We can't vote out Adelaide. She'll know."
She'll kill us.
She'll kill us. But I think that she's going to be, a very impulsive player. I think that she's going to make a lot of decisions emotionally and very suddenly as well. But it'll be interesting to see where she falls. And Adelaide is a Cancer.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. And up next we have Miss, not Mrs., but, she got married, so I guess still Mrs.
She's still Mrs., yeah.
Mrs.
The widowed.
Yeah, the widow, there you go. The widow Grace Ladomus of Ready or Not. Social skills, a 10. Physical, an 8. And strategy, a 6.
I can see her being a major underdog potential. And I think that she'll probably do better on her own. Like, again, if she's backed into a corner rather than working in an alliance with people. Like that's where she'll thrive, constantly having to survive episode after episode. So, I think she could be a force to be reckoned with, but,
I would hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that if she is in an alliance with like someone who is too domineering, like say like a Laurie Strode or an Adelaide type or someone like that, like she could stray. She'd be like, I don't want to be around that kind of energy. But there
could be some trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, but she'll want to be in an alliance because she wants to have, the family unit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but she just might not like what she gets.
Yeah. What's her sign?
Sagittarius as well.
Another Sag.
Yeah.
Loyal until they're not. Until you cross them, and then you are dead to them. All right.
Yeah.
Up next, we have Miss Sam Carpenter of Scream 5 and Screevy. I should have said 5 Cream.
Yeah.
So I'm just reading it off my phone. Social skills are a 5. Her physical ability is a 10. And her strategy, a 7.
That's pretty generous in terms of strategy because she does make some really bad fucking calls. But she's another character that I don't think will do well in big alliance settings, but she'll probably be really strong, like on her own if she is kind of like constantly fighting to stay alive in the game, or if she finds like a really strong alliance with one other person. But I don't see her being in like a major thing. Actually, Sam is the only returning character that we have from a past Survivor season. And she did pretty well that go about. But I think I can see her being like very secretive and aloof, and that kind of being something that will make it hard for people to trust her, and she'll have a hard time trusting people. But like I said, I don't know.
Unless she finds a nurturing group, if she could locate a new core 4 maybe that can kind of like talk her off the ledge and get her to come back and be a part of a family unit kind of thing. Maybe, I don't know. Team player, come on, let's all be a team. And then she'll go, okay.
But yeah, like I said, I don't think that she's as wise to seeing through people's bullshit, at least until it's too late. And but the thing is, if people betray her, they best make sure that they hit their target and get her out of there, because if not, she's coming back for them with a vengeance. She's gonna fuck them up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So because of that, she's a Scorpio.
Look at you owning Sam Carpenter. I like it. Yeah. All right. And the last debutante on our list is Miss Erin of The Menu. Yeah. Social skills are an 8. Her physical ability is an 8. And her strategy is a 10. Ding, 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 like she won something. I don't know.
Yeah. No, she's another like really well balanced final girl. I think that she's really good at hiding things about herself. To the point where it doesn't feel like she's hiding anything. So I could see that like kind of translating into her gameplay. She's also really good at listening to people and figuring them out. Like I was watching a little bit more of the menu, and there's so many scenes of her just sort of in these group settings, like especially when the women go back in, and she's just sort of like sitting there and just like listening to them talk and getting information that way. So I think that she can form relationships very effortlessly. And I think that she'd also be really good at adapting to complications in the game. And also just based on the end of that movie, of just how she wins in the end.
Yes.
I could see her being a serious threat to get to final tribal council, because if she has the opportunity to speak, it's over. Like it's going to be really hard to contend with that, because she's just so
Everyone's
good.
going to go, I never really thought of it that way.
Yeah. So she'll be able to explain her game and strategy really well. I can also see her being someone to play both sides. And she'll probably like easily flip between alliances whenever it serves her.
I could see her being a queen manipulator 100% and knowing how to tell people exactly what they want to hear and convince them that it's true.
Yeah. And I think that she'll probably get away with that unless there's like someone who's really savvy and onto that, like can see through it. And there's a few players this season that might be able to see through it.
Because this is Final Girls.
Yeah.
So what is her sign?
So she's a Gemini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Adelaide wasn't a Gemini, but that's just me.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you have. You would know better than I would.
There's
so
a
I'm not even gonna
formula.
argue.
There's a very simple formula. Okay, let's
always thinking.
let's put the fuck. We've been talking them up for a while. Let's put them onto some tribes here. So I've got them all listed here. So let's start with the first person on the red tribe. Sorry, I didn't think of any fancy names. But the first person on the red tribe is going to be Terry. Wow.
Ooh.
Jennifer
All
Lopez.
right. Wow. Okay.
I know, right?
I'm not excited yet.
Not excited.
And put a random name generator to work. And who do we have coming up?
So on the yellow tribe, our first yellow tribe person is Grace.
Ooh.
Grace on the yellow tribe.
Okay.
Very nice, very nice. Now for our blue tribe.
Blue.
Jessie. And just to confirm, Jessie as in Eliza Dushku, not Jess as in Black Christmas.
Yes.
Okay, then on the red tribe again, we're gonna get Jess, Black Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very nice.
They're all coming through. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all random. It hasn't been predestined.
No.
Or I guess it is predestined by fate.
Just not by you.
Yeah.
Not by you or I.
Ginny on the yellow tribe.
Oh. 2 G's.
Two G's, yeah.
Ginny and Grace.
And on the blue tribe, we've got Suzy.
Okay.
All right. Red tribe again is going to be Adelaide.
On the red tribe, that's appropriate.
Yeah. Very, yes. Tori on the yellow. And on the blue is going to be Natalie. Natalie. You can do it better.
Natalie.
Natalie.
Natalie. Yeah.
Red tribe, Laurie. Interesting.
Okay.
With Adelaide.
Oh my. Wow. Okay.
It's getting pretty tense here. Yellow tribe.
Yeah.
We got Sam. Blue tribe, we've got Carly. Red tribe again. Donna. A lot of moms on the red tribe.
Right. Wow.
That could be a conflict. Yellow tribe. Lila. Blue tribe. Aaron. And then the last person on the red tribe is going to be Julie.
Julie. Oh boy.
Yeah. The last person on the yellow tribe is going to be Kirsty. And then by default, that means that Nancy is on the blue tribe. Last one picked.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Now she's going to make them all pay.
Yeah. All right. Before we get to the interactions, they've been thrown in there. They are Wes Craven is still the host, I'm assuming. Instead of
Why
Jeff
not?
Probst. Also, I want to thank Kellen Whaley for organizing all of the challenges and all that information. Very helpful. So he's got all that there that we can then go through each one by one. So we're starting with Race to Shore. So castaways must collect supplies from on board a large carrier ship and jump into their respective tribe-colored boats below. Once they get to shore, they must hook their boat and untie a torch before lifting someone up high enough to ignite it with a fire pit 15 feet above the ground. The first person to light their torch wins a fire-making kit, while the second tribe receives flint. So, I believe that only one team will... Oh no, there's 2 rewards. So the first reward will be a fire-making kit. So that's the team who finishes the first. And then the second will be just flint. And then the third tribe gets nothing. So this is a physical challenge. So based on the players and their scores tallied up, red tribe gets the fire-making kit. Blue tribe gets the flint, and then yellow tribe is nothing. They got no fire, unfortunately.
Wait, who got the flint? Sorry, I was writing.
The blue tribe got the flint.
Blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Red got the fire-making kit. Red won. They're the most physically stacked team.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, by a bit of a margin. Okay, so we're getting to camp. What are we thinking for alliances here?
Oh boy. All right.
I could see.
Well, okay.
I could
Yes,
see.
yes.
So starting with the red,
Yeah.
I could see the 3 moms initially getting together, like bonding over that. Like, we're moms. Like, we're gonna be, we're a tight unit, and then they'll like bring in one more person. And I think that of that, it might be Jess, because she seems more motherly.
Yeah. And I think Jess would get along with pretty much, almost anybody. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Terry might try to impress them by telling them she's a documentarian and be like, oh, anything I've seen? And she'd be like, no. Mm-hmm. But I killed a giant snake. Oh, really? Yeah. And then Julie, same deal. Like, I think Julie would make a good first impression, but I think she'd be probably perceived as the most easy to manipulate right off the bat, I think.
Yeah. I think that Julie and Terry will probably be buddy. And I think they're all going to get along at first, although Laurie might
I think so
start
too.
rubbing people the wrong way. But it's just like, it's so interesting because there's like of the 3 moms, like Adelaide's very intense. Laurie is intense as well, but like in a more radical kind of way. And then Donna, I think that like Donna's intensity won't show yet. It's still kind of, she hasn't gotten to that point.
She's probably the most soft-spoken of that little trio that you just mentioned. I'd say also Adelaide and Laurie might even feel like more of an alliance right off the bat, just because they're 2 I think they might sense like a real iron will in each other and might respect each other for it right now.
Yeah, totally. Yellow Tribe. What are your first thoughts?
Yellow Tribe. I mean, I'm looking at we've got this is the team that has Tori, so there's that. But I think Kirsty would get along well with everybody, pretty much. Like, I mean, I think Lila would be pretty, agreeable and what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I mean, I first lady energy. Energy.
Right now, I can see Lila and Kirsty kind of being in charge. In a way, and I can see Sam also kind of like getting in on that. Like I can see, they're gonna do well with Sam from the start. It's hard because I see like everyone kind of being really copacetic except Tori might just, she might.
She's the one they can all like exchange. They can exchange looks with each other and just kind of.
Yeah.
Oh well, no, Tori. That's well. Okay, what? Do you know what? And then let's explain stuff to her. Yeah. and hopefully it'll stick. Yeah. But I think they'll pretty much all get along. They're all, otherwise lovely people.
Yeah, and Jenny and Grace, like, yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right okay. Blue Tribe. I don't see any immediate issue. Like all the troublemakers feel like they're on the Red Tribe right now. I can see all of these, everyone again, like just getting on too well at the start. What do you think?
Yeah, they're all pretty nice people.
They're all final girls.
I mean, like that's the thing about Final Girls is that like they can be just as comfortable for you to be around socially as like it when the shit's hitting the fan oftentimes. So I can see that. The only one who I can think maybe being I feel like Aaron is playing the game and nobody knows it. Like everybody thinks Aaron's probably just like right on the same level as they are, just kind of like exchanging pleasantries and getting to know each other and stuff. Right. But I think Aaron's playing the game from the get-go and just already kind of like sizing people up, but not letting on at all. And maybe, I don't know, maybe Suzy needs to be, coaxed out of her shell a little bit. I don't know. It's a newcomer. Well, we're all new, honey.
It's hard to say right now. So while everyone is kind of building their shelters and getting acquainted, we're gonna have some people going off and looking for idols. So there will be idols, of course. So one on each camp. So we'll just do episode by episode of one person finding an idol. So in this particular one, it is going to be the Yellow Tribe. And of the people in the Yellow Tribe, the one who finds the idol is, oh my gosh, Tori.
Oh, shit.
Speaking of luck of the Irish right off the bat there. Tori finds an idol. It feels almost too perfect and terrible at the same time.
So who's she going to tell? Do you think she tells her team?
I don't know who she would tell here. I think that let's see, who are the most social people on the Yellow Tribe? I think that Ginny will probably. Yeah. I think that she'll probably tell Ginny and Grace, and they'll probably tell everyone. So I think that people will know about this because Tori's not going to keep it to herself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. Let's get to the challenge. So, quest for fire. Tribes have a raft fitted with a fire cauldron and 2 torches. The tribes will use the torches to light a series of torches or walks, both on land and in the water. All members must have their hands on the raft at all times. The first 2 tribes to reach the finish win immunity. And this is a physical challenge. So again, it's not looking good for old Yellow.
So the red, you think, is going to conquer this one?
They absolutely will come in first, and blue in second.
Okay.
Yeah, I accidentally didn't make 2 idol statues. I forgot there was 3 tribes, so I'll just put the individual one. You can't even see this. I don't know why I'm telling you. For everyone watching, so yellow is going to tribal council. So this is where we're gonna deal with some shit. Now, here's what we have to figure out: does Tori know that she's in trouble? Is she going to use her idol? Or what do we think?
It's early to start distrusting everybody, but if anybody on the yellow team was going to do it, it'd be her. Mm-hmm. And maybe Sam.
Yeah.
But
I think that this is pretty easy. I think that everyone, if like Grace and Ginny like just told the rest of the team like, yeah, she's got an idol, because she was already probably rubbing people the wrong way from the start just because of her tendencies. They're probably all being like really buddy. They probably went to her and said, hey, we're voting out Sam or someone like that. And she's just like, okay, so she's gonna go home with an idol in her pocket. That's what I'm thinking.
Right. Yeah. I think so too. I agree with you 100%.
Tori's not playing that. What a waste of an idol.
It's just going to get harder now because she was like the one we could always depend on to fail. Yeah. But
here's a question: did she entrust it to anyone, or was she left it in her pocket and walked out of the game? I think she just had it in her pocket. I don't think anyone.
Yeah, I do too. I can't see. I can't convince myself that any one of these other women on this team would pop out to her.
The only one that I could see doing that is probably Kirsty getting the idol, and it's so early that I don't.
But it's so it's so early. I'd say no. Yeah, she's leaving with an idol. Good for you, Tori, American Idol.
It's a souvenir. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Right. All right, that is it for the preview. If you guys want to check out the full episode, you can head over to my Patreon. The link is in the descriptions down below. We appreciate all the donations that you offer, and it all goes towards the podcast and making it what it is. Next week, we are doing our 100th episode. It's Final Destination. We're very excited for that. But until then, we will be right back.